It wasn't it wasn't a sex thing. It was just two guys in a hotel room with the door completely open. Everyone seems to forget that part, that the door was wide open the whole time. But no, Wendy Torrance caught half a gander out the corner of her eye as she was running up the stairs. So, oh sure, let's just call it a freaky furry party at the Overlook Hotel. You want to know why there's always dead people at the Overlook Hotel? Lack of communication. You ever see a movie and think, oh, this could all be solved with a 30-second phone call if one of these idiots ever bothered to do that? Yeah, that's what it's like working at the Overlook. Lack of communication, both figuratively because nobody says what they mean, and also literally because the snowstorms always take out the phone lines and then somebody always goes cuckoo and smashes the radio. My name is Edgar Skyzerhanes, not Edward Scissorhands. It's Edgar Skyzerhanes. It's Dutch. And I worked at the Overlook Hotel outside of Sidewinder, Colorado for a number of years. I was hired as the head greenskeeper because of my work as a topiary artist. Yes, just like Edward Scissorhands, but again, my name is Edgar Skyzerhanes. Do these look like garden shears to you? No? Okay. Anyways, I was hired by the original owner of the Overlook, this guy Steven. But when I arrived, I learned that he moved back to Maine, and the new owner was this bearded British guy, Stanley, who... Yikes. I was like, okay, so what are we thinking? Maybe doing some like topiary lions or something? And this guy was like, no, topiary animals are stupid. We're doing a hedge maze. It makes way more sense. I was like, okay, I mean, I was hired to do topiary, but sure, I'll do a hedge maze. So I put one together and he's like, nah, what else you got? Okay, so I design a second hedge maze and he looks at it and says, there's not enough left turns. What? So then I design a third, a fourth, a fifth hedge maze, and every single one there's something wrong. No, this one's too complex. No, this one I can find on a kid's menu. No, this one needs a courtyard in the middle. 127 different hedge maze designs later, he goes, what about that second one? The one that didn't have enough left turns? He goes, yeah, that one's good enough. Let's just move on. Oh my God. Anyways, my first year at the Overlook was great. I made some great friends, Lloyd over in the Gold Room bar, Halloran down in the kitchen. Our boss Ullman was, a general pain in the ass, but the real dickhead was Bill Watson. Just sitting there not saying anything? What are you, the CIA guy from Apocalypse Now all of a sudden just being all creepy and shit? But then it was getting time to close down for the winter. Even though the Overlook was perfectly situated for a ski resort, it was a 25-mile road back to Sidewinder, and keeping it open in the winter just for the hotel wasn't financially feasible. So anyways, I'm helping Lloyd pack up all the booze in the bar. Ullman and Watson come in with the Torrances, Jack and Wendy, who are going to be the caretakers for the winter. Halloran takes Wendy and their kid Danny downstairs to go check out the kitchen. Ullman is talking to Jack, and Lloyd pulls that mother scratcher Bill Watson over and says, hey, you make sure you tell the Torrances about the New Year's party. And Bill's like, yeah, of course I'm going to tell them. And Lloyd's like, okay, because you didn't tell the Gradys last time, and look what happened there. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys talking about, a New Year's party? And Lloyd tells me that every year there's an employee-only New Year's party. Whoever can make it just piles into a bunch of snowcats, we make it up the mountain, and we go all out here in the Gold Room. Except for Bill, he's not invited, because he forgot to tell the Grady family about it. The staff showed up for the party, and Grady thought people were breaking in. He went cuckoo, and his family got killed in the crossfire. So Bill, you fucked up, you're not invited, but you still got to tell the Torrances about it. And Bill's like, yeah, I'll tell them. And Lloyd says to me, oh, one last thing. Everyone dresses up for the party. So when someone invites you to a party and says, everyone dresses up for it, I take that to mean it's a costume party. What Lloyd meant to say was, it's a black tie party, please don't come in a bear costume. So the party starts around 4 in the afternoon and everyone just started drinking real hard. Then we hear screaming. It's Wendy Torrance. Oh fuck, did they not know that we were coming? Did that mother scratcher Bill Watson not tell them? Because guess what that mother scratcher Bill Watson didn't do? Anyways, Jack comes to the party, completely unfazed that we're there. So, okay, maybe Bill told Jack, but Jack didn't tell Wendy? Let's just say their marriage was more on the rocks than the bourbon Jack was drinking. Hey-o. Anyways, Wendy starts screaming again, and Lloyd's like, everyone, hide. So I duck under a table, and I overhear that there's a naked woman in one of the rooms, and she attacked Danny. And my first thought was, oh, fuck, it was Debbie, wasn't it? Debbie was one of the hotel maids, and good God, she could not hold her alcohol. Same thing happened 4th of July weekend in the Labor Day party. Debbie gets 3 daiquiris in her, and suddenly the clothes come off. She's letting herself in hotel rooms, taking baths, making out with other staff. Look, we've all been there, but Debbie is pushing 70. Like, get it together, girl. Then Lloyd is like, hey, the bar's running low on a few things. Can you go run downstairs and grab a few things from the pantry? I'm like, sure, what do you need? He's like, we need grenadine, vodka, rum, and club soda. I'm like, I thought we cleared out all the booze. Lloyd goes, yeah, but there's still a small stash in the kitchen used for cooking. It's behind the canned pickles. So I go out and I run into this kid in the hallway. It's Danny. And I'm like, oh, hey, kid, can you run down to the pantry and grab me a few things? I need grenadine. It's that red stuff for Shirley Temples, vodka, rum, and club soda. Danny goes, don't you think I'm a little young to be getting alcohol for you? I'm like, kid, I'm not asking you to buy me alcohol. I'm just asking you to run down to the pantry and grab a few things and bring them upstairs for me. Danny goes, I don't see much of a difference. I'm like, look, kid, just go get it. Look, you could pretend to be a delivery truck. Just put it on your big wheel and ride it up the elevator. Danny goes, actually, the elevator's been out of order since it got flooded with blood last night. I'm like, flooded with blood? How?
Call Ed Moltano.
No, don't call me. Because number one, I don't do elevator jobs. Because usually you got to call the elevator company and get their guys to work on it. Number two, sounds like you got another hedge maze just waiting inside the walls with all the pipes, and I ain't dealing with all that. And number three, I don't do ghost jobs. You want to know why? Because every time it gets to the invoice, guess what? They ghost you. Anyways, turns out Danny was super unreliable because not only did he not bring the stuff I asked for, all he could remember was red and rum. So then apparently Wendy took a look at Jack's writing, which I actually thought had a real E.E. Cummings quality to it. The simplicity, the repetition, the formatting. Does all work and no play make Jack a dull boy? Or a dill boy? Perhaps a dull bot? Or maybe even a dull bog? It was an experimental prose that challenged the reader and questioned the soul, and well, Wendy was never really much of the intellectual type. Anyways, remember when I said that inevitably somebody always goes cuckoo and breaks the radio? Well, that somebody was Jack. He went cuckoo bananas and started chopping up doors with axes, which started freaking out everyone at the party. We thought he was just going to correct his family, not destroy every entryway. Then I hear a voice down in the lobby, and I'm like, is that Halloran? I thought he was in Florida, and oh my God! Yikes. At this point, I'm freaking out. I'm like, we need to hide. So I duck into one of the open staff rooms with Martin, one of the guys from guest services. We get 2 steps in the door and the radio alarm clock, which I guess had never been reset, goes off, and it's that Gregorian monk chant shit from the 90s, and it's super loud, and Martin is like reaching across the bed trying to shut off the clock radio. Meanwhile, I'm so scared that I'm about to shit my bear costume, I'm practically turtle heading, so I'm opening the drop seat of my onesie. My next stop is Toilet City, but god damn it, my left contact lens pops out, so I'm on the ground with my ass hanging out as Martin is reaching back across the bed, trying to stop a radio alarm clock from blasting out chant music. I find my contact, pop it back in, and who do I see down the hallway? Wendy Torrance, holding a kitchen knife and wondering if maybe Sex in the City just isn't for her. But it wasn't a sex thing. But ever since then, it's been a lifetime of hey, I heard you and Martin, we're not furries. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That is a lifestyle choice between consenting adults, but that's not us. And yes, fine, okay, Martin and I have been married for 10 years, but we weren't even dating at that time. Anyways, long story short, Wendy and Danny make it down the mountain where Danny immediately tells the cops that a man in a bear suit was trying to procure alcohol from him. And then 5 months later, guess who got stuck having to dig out a half-frozen Jack Torrance? This guy. Worst Cinco de Mayo ever. But I guess my hedge maze worked. They say that when you die at the Overlook Hotel, it's like you never really leave. And maybe a little bit of Jack Torrance is still there, and maybe always has been. But Dick Halloran is definitely not stuck there. My name is Josh Faltour. I'm the senior curator at the Halloran wing of the Guggenheim Museum. Most people who knew Dick Halloran in life knew him simply as a hotel cook, but like so many great artists, it wasn't until after his death that his true genius was revealed. Dick Halloran was the world's foremost painter of fine art nude African-American women portraits, and I do mean fine. His work evokes a sense of power and sensuality with a transcendent use of light not seen since the Dutch masters. The Halloran collection just completed its 6th world tour, and it's a tragedy what happened to Dick. Like, he was the only person who died, well, that year anyways, and he didn't even get to enjoy the party. But I like to think that he lives on through his art, and that Dick Halloran still gets to shine all over the world. Hey everyone, thanks for watching this episode of Minor Character Theater. Real quick bit of movie trivia. I did not know this until last night, but Halloran, Scatman Crothers, was actually the voice of Jazz the Autobot in the original Transformers animated movie, and also the voice of Hong Kong Phooey, which I did not know at all. Anyways, thanks for watching. Sorry this one took a while to get out. Big shout out to all of our new members. We've got about 10 of them. So shout out to Ghost Fox, Agnostic, Joka Wolf, Andy Pham, Conservative Vanguard, Ryan Hardy, Coffee 321, Will, Eric Morganson, and Spy Moose. So welcome guys to the Major Minor members. All right, stay tuned. We got our next one coming out soon. All right, talk to you soon.